Hey everyone, it's Jennifer with Rooted in the Rock, and I've got something dropping from the resource branch right now. Hey everyone, welcome to Rooted in the Rock. I'm so glad you're here. Today I want to share some helpful tips for if you are planning or going to DJ a dance or dance party for your Christian school or homeschool group. Okay, so I've done this 2 or 3 times now. Two or three times. Well, 3 if you count the skate thing. Anyway. So the first thing is you need space. You need a location, okay? Make sure wherever you have it has enough room for people to do group dances or games or whatever that may be, okay? But also, something really, really important for where you're having it is make sure it's somewhere that has good speakers. Or if you're bringing your own, make sure it's got enough places to plug in your speakers or whatever sound system you may be using, right? Make sure they have a sound system that you can either use or a place to use your own. Very, very important. And you don't want to leave that till the last to figure out. Okay, so the place, the location. For the next thing, you want to make sure you have food stuff. It doesn't matter what age, they all love having snacks. And when they are dancing and playing and burning all that energy, they get hungry. And they get hungry fast, definitely. Make sure you've got some good snacks, okay? A successful party or dance party always has good food. You can do where people sign up to bring stuff. Like you don't have to, the school or the person hosting doesn't have to foot the whole bill, right? Everybody can bring something to share. And that just everybody share the load and share with each other. That works fabulously. Or if the school has a budget and they can buy certain things, one of the things that my old school did is the school would pay for like the nugget trays and, Chick-fil-A nugget tray. Yeah. Okay. And pizzas and things like that. But then this, sides like chips and candy and extra drinks and those sorts of things they would have other people bring. So it just depends. Depends on your situation. If it's a homeschool group, it's really better like potluck. Just let everybody bring something. If it's a bigger school, they might have a budget that they can pay for certain things, or all of it, depending on the school and the budget size. So food stuff. Make sure you've got good food stuff. I tell you, those teenagers, they are bottomless pits. And they love to eat. And I tell you, some of these boys that I've seen lately, they grow so much and so fast. I'm like, well, no wonder they're black holes when it comes to food, because they're stretching their body out so much. Like around those middle school years, they grow so much just in those couple of years. It's ridiculous. They get hungry. Make sure you got good food, okay? The next thing, the third thing I would say is plan some games and group dances. I guess we could combine those into one, I suppose. Make sure you plan some group activities, I should say. Plan some group activities, okay? Plan some games, some party games. There are all kinds of things you could do if you just look on Google and Google, games for dances or party games or whatever. There's all kinds of things you can come up with. 4 corners is super easy. That one, although if you have a ton of people, can be really hard and can get confusing depending on the layout of your room too. If you have enough space or if you have good corners for people to get into. But there's 4 corners. I actually, this last time, they themed the dance to what was the science topic for the year, and they did astronomy this year. So I tried to come up with games that were themed for the theme. Games that would match the theme, I should say. So one of the games I did was find the asteroid. So I made asteroids out of gray paper. I had gray paper. I had a regular ball of paper, and then I balled the gray over top of it, and I hid them around the room before the kids came in. And so at one point, that was the first game, because I knew they wouldn't last very long. People would find them and throw them in the garbage because it just looks like a ball of garbage. But I hid them around the room, and so we had prizes to give away, and so we used the games to give away the prizes. And that's a different point I'll talk about in a minute. And so they had to find the hidden asteroids. What was the other? Oh, we did a pop the balloon game, and I made them yellow balloons, so they were creating stars. I was like, okay, how do you create stars? Well, you compress the gas until it starts a fusion, and et cetera, et cetera. Anyway, they had to pop the balloons, and the big prizes were hidden in certain balloons. But what I did was I put a piece of paper in every single balloon, and the ones that weren't prizes had Bible verses. I looked up encouraging Bible verses, and I prayed. I was like, okay, just if someone needs this, make sure they get it, etc. And so every balloon had a paper in it, so they couldn't just try to grab the balloon that had a paper in it. They all had a paper in it, and they all hopefully had something good, but some of them had super prizes. Now, that one, sometimes your games might not go well, okay? Sometimes they might flop, and it's okay. It happens. Just kind of roll on with it. Just, okay, back to the dance, like if it flops, just move on. But like the balloon game, they loved it. I heard from a lot of the kids, they really loved that part. But we found several of the Bible verse papers just on the floor afterwards. So not everyone is going to care about that. But you know what? It might be really great for someone. So just a thought. Anyway, do some games. They love the games. It's a nice break. They're not going to be on the dance floor the whole night. They're going to spend some time eating. Do some time doing games. I say go back to group activities. Okay, so games and group activities, as in the group dances. So depending on your school or your organization, this could be a church thing too, a youth group thing, really. Some of them are okay with dancing, some of them aren't. Some of them are okay with the typical old school dance songs, some of them aren't. Like, for example, we did YMCA. Classic YMCA. Everybody loves it, everybody knows it. Their favorites also are Cha-Cha Slide and what's the other one? Cupid Shuffle. Okay, they're both clean, and most everybody knows the dance. They play them at the skating rinks. They do those everywhere. So there are other ones too, but I didn't want to load too many of those. Like at a typical wedding, it's like those over and over, and I'm like, you want a break to go do this and go do that, and we had a photo booth and all kinds of stuff going on. So I was like, you don't want these group dances the whole time. No one has that kind of energy, even the kids, they need a break. So I structured, that's a whole nother thing, is structuring the playlist. But anyway, you don't want too many of them, and they'll ask you for them too, and they'll ask to make requests. So we've got location, food, group activities. Now let's talk about music and playlist. Okay, the symbols. So our old school, they used to hire a DJ to come in and do it. And the problem is, I guess he wasn't in the Christian faith, or I don't know. He was just a DJ. I don't know that he wasn't from the church. He was from somewhere. I don't know. But one of the problems is he would, it was mostly secular music, and some of it, there were ones, he played the clean version. Okay, it wasn't the explicit version, but everybody knew that was what was supposed to be there. And that's the problem. Like at a Christian school, at a Christian dance, you want to be very careful about what music you allow to be played. So there were some parents, or there were people around that heard it and were like, oh, they're playing that, even if it's the clean version, they know what it's supposed to be. So be very careful about that, about the music you choose. Okay. There are so many really great Christian artists with tons of hip hop and rap and dance music. There's so much out there that's really, really great. It's clean and it glorifies God. Okay. There is no reason to have to play the most popular music from the radio or whatever. There's no reason to have to play junk. I'm not saying all secular music is junk. There's plenty of secular music that I like, but for a Christian school or a Christian church, places like that, you need to be setting an example. You need to have some guidelines, right? So what I do with playlist, okay, with music, our process is what happens is, I tell everybody, the kids can make requests. They're welcome to submit a paper with requests on it. But there's a deadline that's like a week before the dance party. And I take them and I look, if I don't know it already, I look it up. I look up the song, I play it, I listen to it, and I look up the lyrics online. All you have to do is in Google or whatever search engine you use, just put in the name of the song and lyrics. Sometimes you have to put the artist. If it's a song title that is, has more than one, you might have to put the artist in. But all you got to do is put in the song and lyrics, and boom, there it is. And you can read the lyrics and see if there are any bad words. Or here's the thing. There's so many songs that are completely clean. They don't have any curse words in them. No bad words. But listen to what they talk about. It's not just looking for bad words. It's looking for inappropriate topics. So, for example, there was a girl at the school, and this was a couple years ago, and she had requested, it was a song. Oh, and her mom had told me too. Oh, it's a song from Spider-Man. We really love it. From the Spider-Man movie. Was it Into the Spider-Verse? No. I don't remember. It was one of the popular, I thought it was the first animated Spider-Man, the animated Spider one. Anyway. That's into the, anyway. They wanted this song from the Spider-Man movie. I looked it up and it is clean, no bad words. However, if you read the lyrics, which kind of surprises them, like, oh, they put that in a kid's animated movie, but listen to what the song is actually talking about. There's a part where he talks about taking the girl home and them having relations. Let's put it that way. Okay? Like, that is not appropriate music for a Christian school or a Christian organization thing, whatever. Like, sorry, they're talking about doing something that we're like, no, that's not okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it was a shame because, so anyway, we always let people request, but always check the songs, okay? And there was one this year. I was like, who is this person? I don't even know, because I'm not teaching there this year, but they had me come back and do the dance again. And this page, the whole page, it was all garbage. Most of it, all but like one thing. The song from Fast and Furious, the See You Again. Oh, it's a great song, but we're at a dance party. Let's not play a song that's going to make us all cry. Okay. Like, no. So not only lyrics and make sure there's no bad words, but also, like, is it upbeat? You can play some slower songs, but you generally want to keep it upbeat and fun, okay? No songs about mourning or dying. Let's just stay off that kind of topic. But anyway, the rest of it was like on the request sheet. I don't know if it was a boy or girl. I don't know who it was. But on the request sheet, they put, the clean version without the E, because it's E for explicit. E, when you're looking in, I still call it iTunes, I'm sorry, Apple Music or Spotify or whatever. If there's an E by it, it means explicit and it has wordy dirds in it, okay? So, I call them wordy dirds. Anyway, and if you have to tell me on the request to get the clean version and not the explicit version, that's an automatic no. Nope. That's what killed the original DJ to begin with. We're not going there. Nope. So I have to, I take the request. I try to make sure I include something from everybody who requests. They give me usually like a whole page list. And I try to make sure I get one song in the list from each person who requested songs. That one, it was not possible. It is what it is. But so I look at them. I check the music, I check the lyrics, all of that. And then after it's made my approval, I always submit the playlist to the director of the school. They also have to approve it. Okay? Then If you've gone through all that process, you should not have to worry. Now, there's always going to be someone, oh, I wish you'd play this. I wish you'd play this. And you always have kids coming up in the middle of the day, in the middle of the dance. Can I request a song? They always want to come back to the DJ booth, wherever the DJ is. They always want to come back to the booth and request music, and because they're used to, like at the skating rink, you can always like go up and request music. But I always tell them, you have a deadline for requests, and then we're not changing the list. We're not doing anything on the fly. And that way you kind of cover your own rear, and the fact that yes, I could technically pull something into the playlist right then and there at any time. However, I've already got a set schedule. There's no extra time, and they've already had a chance to request. And that way, the whole cover your bum thing is like, that way you don't accidentally end up playing something that might have something in it, because you don't have time you can't listen to it and check the lyrics and all of that. You know what I'm saying? Like, nope, we make a deadline a week before the dance party. That's your request deadline. The night of, it's set. Just enjoy yourself, right? Okay, so music. Before I move on. Okay, music. The playlist. It can be. Listen, you don't have to have a DJ with turntables. Listen, I bought a turntable thing, and it was going to be so much fun. It's under my bed collecting dust. Like, I just need to sell it. It ain't going to happen. Like, I wanted to. I thought it'd be really fun, but for once a year. And I don't even know if I'll continue to do it for years to come. Like, maybe I'll give them some training wheels and they can do it on their own, right? Like, I don't know. But for once a year, and I don't, if you're not practicing something, you forget how to do it, and then you have to learn how to use it again. Listen, you don't have to have anything complicated. It's as easy as having a Spotify playlist or an Apple Music playlist. That's all you need. Or some other something. Depending on the facility that you're using, if they set you up on a sound, sometimes you can plug in your own device, or they have, like at the school where I used to go to, what I did is they have internet on the computer that's in the sound booth. And so you just pull up a window, log into your music service. There's your playlist. You play it from that computer that's hooked to the sound system already. I want to say 1 year I did bring my computer and use my computer, but either way, it's as simple as that. Make a playlist in one of your music services. Both Spotify and Apple Music have, and Tidal's another one that some people use. And most of, as far as I know, all of them, they all have most of the regular things. All the, like, Cha-Cha Slide and all that, they have all those regular things. The Christian music, that one can vary service to service who has what. Spotify and Apple Music, in the way of music I've used for dances and stuff, they've pretty much had all the same stuff that I've tried to pull. I've usually been able to find everything. So it's as simple as making a playlist, okay? Here are a couple tips about your playlist. I'm still talking about music. Well, like I said, it's a majority of the event, right? Okay, for your playlist. For one thing, it's either at the bottom or the top, depending on which service you use, okay? Check the total playtime for your playlist, okay? You might have 50 requests, but 50 songs, that's going to take a long time. Think about it. You've got some songs are 2 to 3 minutes. There are some songs that are 5 minutes long. And that adds up. And if your dance is only 2 hours long, depending on your party and what's going on, if your dance is 2 hours long, that's it. That's the only amount of time you have for your music. So if your playlist is 2.5 hours of playtime, you got some stuff to cut. So make sure you've cut the playlist to fit within the dance time. And I cut it shorter this year because we had to cut off songs last year. We still had to cut songs off because we started late, and then so we ended a little later, but we still ended up having to cut like the last 3 songs off. So check the time, your play time on your playlist, okay? And pay attention to the order of your playlist. Now, this might be a little of my ADD, OCD, whatever, the way I am wired, okay, I am very serious about making a playlist, okay? So like I plan it out. I can show you, I'll take pictures of my pages and show you. But I plot out, like I say, okay, I have this much time. Okay, let's divide that out and see about how many songs that should be, okay? And then I have my request songs. I have the songs that I like to include. Sometimes I bring a few over from the previous year that they really like. Oh, Church Clap is a really great one, by the way. We love Church Clap. That's the group dance one. We taught all the kids one year and did like a flash mob. Well, it was supposed to be like a flash mob, but it didn't really work, but they still loved it. It was so cool that one year. And because the parents were there and the kids learned it at school so that they could do it. Anyway, it was awesome. But that's not, before I forget. Okay. But I plan it out and I have this type of song. These are my group dance songs. Okay, these are the songs I'm going to use for games. Songs without words are really great for when you're playing a game. And try to keep your games can go longer in time than you intend. So try to keep your game to limit it to the song time. But so you have your game songs, and then you have your dance songs, and then, requests. And some are slower-ish songs. So what I did is I divided my list, and then I said, okay, I'm going to have some dance songs, and then we're going to have what I do for the game, and then after the game, there's like a regular slower, whatever. After a dance, especially after a group dance song, like the slide or, the church clap or whatever, I thought, let's play a slow-ish kind of song after that. And that gives people a break. They've just done a dance and they're worn out. They need to rest for a minute. Play a slower song after that. Then they can take a break. They can go get their food, go get a drink, or if someone needs a bathroom break, that makes it a great time for that when you play a slower song. But you don't want to play like 3 slow songs in a row. Okay? So and here's the thing, with a Christian school or Christian, like for our middle school, we made it a dance party. Okay, it's a dance party. It's not we're gonna slow dance with each other, because at our school it was like, nope, we're not doing boyfriend girlfriends. We're not doing this. Not what we're here for. We are here to learn, and so it was a dance party, not a typical old school dance. Okay, we made it more like that's. Like I said, we called it a dance party because we weren't into that. So when I say slower songs, I'm talking about just a song that's not like bumpy and peppy, right? We're talking about just a slow-ish kind of song, not a slow dance song. We didn't do any slow dances like old school. We don't need any of that going on. You don't want, listen, just being in middle school is hard enough as it is with all the things going on with people and potential drama, which hopefully you don't have a lot of drama, but you know what I'm saying? Nobody needs slow dance and that kind of stuff going on. Okay, so, but just pay attention to how you order, okay? Do some fast stuff, play a game, do some fast stuff, or do a group dance, and then have a slower song, and then go back to the regular fast dance music, and then, you know what I'm saying? Spread your games out. Don't have all your games back to back to back. Don't have all of your group dances back to back to back. Spread them out. Put other stuff in between, and voila, there you go. Now, I made... You don't have to go as far as me and divide it out and say, I need 2 of this and then 1 of this and like have a pattern that you go by. That's just me. There are suggestions for how to DJ and all that kinds of stuff online. But, it doesn't have to be complicated. You don't have to have a mixing board. You don't have to do, that's really cool, but for those of us who are in a small school or a small homeschool group, or, it doesn't have to be that complicated. It doesn't have to be a full-blown crazy, DJ party. As long as the music is good and there's food, everybody's happy. Okay, last thing is prizes. I mentioned prizes earlier. Okay, prizes. Now, you might not have prizes. That might be something that you don't do at all, and that's totally fine. our old school, what we did the last couple of years is we had a parent who went around. There were like local businesses or things people wanted to donate. So there were the local skating rink gave us, this year I think we had 5 skate passes from the skating rink. We had 5 little $3 Brewster's gift cards. That's an ice cream shop out here. And there was like was there a smoothie place? I don't know. There were a bunch of things. There were one or two things that they had, one for everybody who was there. And then there were some things where we only had 5 or 3. And then there were some bigger things like the Natural History Museum downtown. They had a field trip down there, and they had given the school some family packs to give out. So they saved those and used them for prizes for the dance. And, things like that. It could be local businesses, all kinds of things. Okay. So, and it never hurts to ask. Go into your local Chick-fil-A and say, hey, we're this school. You're the closest Chick-fil-A to our school. We were wondering if, we could get some kind of prize, some prize donations for our dance or whatever. Just don't be afraid to ask. The worst they could do is say, no, sorry, we don't do that. Right? And you can put a message out to the parents. There might be parents who have their own business or know people at a business that would like to donate to the school, just little things. You never know. Okay. So like goodie bags, prizes, that kind of thing. It varies depending on your school and what you've got to share and all of that. But it's really great if you're going to do games, and you can do party games and not have prizes for the winners. That's no big deal. But if you do have some prizes or things like that people have donated, it's really great to pair up with the games. And that also gets them participating more in the games too, because they might win something. It's fun. Anyway, I think that's it. I've, of course, yammered a lot longer than I meant to, but I didn't think there was that much to say, but there really is. The music is important. I'm really passionate about the music. I love music, and I love music with a lot of bass, and I love music that's good to work out or dance to. So I've always loved doing the whole DJ thing. And if you're the DJ person, like DJs are known for, like, they have hats, or, Marshmallow is one, and he's got the whole marshmallow head thing. And there's certain, sometimes they have the headphones. If you're on a mixing board, of course, they have the headphones. And so some of them wear headphones just for decoration or whatever. I wear, like, lights. I got a little LED light up strands that I wrap in my hair. And I have these glitter shoes, these purple glitter Converse that I wear. But you know what? Do something fun. If you're the DJ person, don't be like, old lady, okay, I'm going to go hit the button for y'all now. Dress up fun with the kids. That makes it more fun, okay? So those are my tips for if you are planning or doing DJ duties for a dance or dance party or party at a Christian school or homeschool group or even youth group at a church. Please remember to hit the like button if this was helpful. Let me know in the comments if you have other suggestions or requests or want to know more about anything, and subscribe for future content. Have a great week. It's working. Hey everyone, it's Jennifer with Rooted in the Rock. Rooted in the Rock. I do that a lot. Well, make sure you've got food stuff. Hang on. Yeah, honey. Subscribe so you see frou. Start over. We all love you. Okay. That's what happens when you film when the kids are in bed and they're not asleep yet. They want to talk to mommy over the monitor. We use it like an intercom. We still use it. But I already had my makeup on, and I thought I was gonna film today, and I didn't get to, and I thought, well, I'm gonna go down and do it real quick. Yeah. Okay, for the second thing, and then the train.